Hi, I'm Tomo Bystedt from TaylorMade. I'm the Director of Product Creation for irons. Today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the new 2017 irons that we have new for this year. And the first two I'm going to talk about is the M1 and the M2 irons. So some of you may be familiar with the M2 from 2016. We've incorporated a lot of the same technologies and actually improved on those, really in an effort to get lower CG. So the first thing we did was try to remove all the mass high in the head. We have a fluted hosel system. We have a very thin top line here, and we have a little bit of a shallower head than we've had in the previous M2. So that's getting the CG even lower for that high launch, long distance, steeper landing angle. And this iron for this year, what's new versus last year, is the addition of face slots. So you see these slots on the face, here you see on the heel and the toe of the club, and that's really there to add forgiveness to the product. So you're going to see tremendous improvement in the dispersion of your shots. So your misses on low face hits and heel toe hits are going to be dramatically improved. Now the second iron I want to talk about is the M1 iron. The M1 really incorporates a lot of the same technologies as M2. We have the 360-degree undercut, we have the fluted hosel, we have the speed pocket and the face slots. These are all the same technologies. And we also have the same sound managing technology called G-Acoustic in both of these clubs, really to manage the sound and feel of the product. What's different about the M1 is that we actually use multi-material technology. A tungsten piece in the toe to keep the CG low, keep the inertia high, a lot of forgiveness, but manage to do it in a smaller, more compact club head. So one of the real differences in these in terms of how they play is how they look at a dress. And we see that with a lot of golfers where they sometimes prefer something a little smaller, more compact, and that really gives you the option of sort of getting the performance in both of these, distance, height, and forgiveness, but choosing kind of your footprint that you like in terms of the size of the club. So that's really a great way for any game improvement player to kind of choose one or the other.
So the M1 iron then, personally last year I hit the M2, I hit the Pro and the straight M2 model. And it's funny that you mentioned, different golfers like different looks. For me, I definitely preferred the footprint of the Pro model, yes, opposed to the I guess standard M2.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, again, we don't want to have a player having to choose between performance and a look. And that was really the goal with M1, is to give you both the look and the performance sort of in one package. And that was really why we created the M1 for 2017.
Excellent. And then you also have a couple other models there on the ground.
Yeah. So these irons are the new P750 Tour Proto and the new P770 irons. These are irons really designed for better players. We are really proud of these products. They've been about 3 years in the making, working with our best players, Justin Roses, Jason Days, Dustin Johnson. They all have input into this design of these products. So the difference between the two really is the 750 is really designed just for the best players. It's a very small product. Typically we would make something like this just for tour, not even sell it to consumers. But we wanted to make sure that if you really love this kind of product, it really plays like a muscle back, that you would have access to that product. The 770 is going to be a great product for really any better player. Whether you're a tour player, we got a lot of these in play on tour already this week. We're going to see more as the weeks go on into February and March. But a lot of tour players are going to play these because they look and feel like a blade iron. They're super soft carbon steel feel, great look for them. But what's different about this is that we have a big tungsten piece in the back here, 70 grams of tungsten. And that really lowers that CG and gets more forgiveness in that product, and typically it was not very forgiving. So what's going to be great about that is, as a good player out on tour, or if you're a top amateur player, is you're going to have a choice of two irons that feel great, they look great, but one has a little bit more forgiveness and one plays more like a muscle back. So you have kind of a choice there. But we're seeing great uptake on tour. And really the validation for these is that the guys who got them on tour early, Justin Rose was the first player that we sent a set to, and Jason Day. Those two guys were right at the forefront. Both put them in play right away. So Justin played this at the end of last year, and also beginning of this season, had a solo second at the Sony Open. And then Jason Day's only appearance so far in the season in Kapalua, he also had these in the back. So great start to the season. We hope to see even more in play as the year goes on.
Oh, that's wonderful. And I imagine that the lofts are identical on both models of those irons. So the golfer who's really picky about his setup, he can put the cavity backs, the 770s, for the higher clubs going into the hybrids, and then of course the muscle back designed for the the more finesse shot.
So you can do that. The way we designed these